What's going on, guys? It's Cimo. So today we're going to be cracking open a box of the brand new core Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster set, Phantom Rage. I'm really excited. There's some really cool stuff to pull in here, and I know some of you guys might be thinking, Cimo, why are you doing a box opening when you always tell us to buy the singles? Well, the thing is, there's a few reasons. First off, I want to support my local game store, We Play Games, here in Las Vegas, because, especially with COVID and everything, we need to support our local game stores now more than ever. And secondly, some people may not have the money to afford being able to buy sealed product, so this video is more for the people who just want that box opening experience without having to spend the money to do so. However, if you are looking to purchase any singles or sealed product for Phantom Rage, be sure to use my TCG Player affiliate link down in the description. It doesn't cost you guys anything, and it actually helps directly support the channel, so it's a win-win all around. Thank you guys so much for your support, and we are going to go ahead and get right into this box opening. Man, I really hope I pull a Starlight Rare. It has been a long time coming. We still have yet to do that on the channel. I only open one box per set because pretty much I just get everything else that I need just on the secondary market, but who knows? We'll see what happens. There are some cool secret rares to pull from the set too, but let's go ahead and test our luck and see if we can get some of those good cards. We're looking for some of the secret rares like AA Zeus. That would be great for Zodiac. Alpha Master of Beasts, also a very good card. Let's go ahead and kick things off. So, first up, we have Mutant Blast, a virtual. These cards are so underrated. This archetype, I think, is really, really good, and some of these cards are really easy to pick up. Definitely get a core of this if you can. But let's go ahead and just go straight to the holo, and there's our first one, Dual Avatar Fists, Armored Agio. Really cool art on this archetype, but I don't really necessarily like the archetype itself, but I will say the art's 10 out of 10. And that's going to be it for this pack. Ooh, UA Play Manager, actually. A lot of longtime fans of the channel know I absolutely love UAs. This card is insane for UAs. I know UA is not like a top tier deck or anything like that, but for the UA archetype, that card is just absurd, and if I want to play some just fun rogue jank, I will be definitely incorporating those play managers into my UA deck. Moving on to our next pack here, another fusion monster, Mutant Synthesis. I think the mutants are okay. I think they have some potential, but at this point, they're kind of just like Cosmo, but kind of worse because they don't have their Dark Destroyer yet. We will have to see, though. I mean, oh, and even the Searcher's common for this archetype, too. That's just so good. But yeah, the mutants, I think, again, you have to think like with Cosmo. The first wave of Cosmo support was like fine, but then when we got like Dark Destroyer, that's when this card just became crazy. So who knows, maybe this will also get its Dark Destroyer one day. There's another Dual Avatar Fists card, Yuhi. Again, artwork is just so cool. It's super simple, but very clean looking. More of the Virtual World cards. I am super happy to pick those up. And again, I can't believe how low rarity some of these cards are. Like, I was really shocked, especially when I started seeing how well this archetype was doing. I thought Konami was going to rarity bump a lot of it for sure. Let's go ahead and move on, though. Banquet of Millions is also just a regular rare here. There's Infernoble Knight Captain Oliver. Cool card there. I love that angle that he's standing at. The artwork is just so cool. But no super rare yet, no ultra rare yet, no secret rare yet, so we still have some exciting stuff coming in this box. Every box is on average supposed to have 2 secret rares and 4 ultras, so we're gonna see if we can get lucky. Moving on along, there's one of our ultra rares. It's another dual avatar card, so I guess this is the dual avatar box. I really hope that doesn't prove to be true, but dual avatar empowered Kongyo. Again, artwork is so cool. We'll see if this archetype becomes good in the future. I think we've seen this stuff out of Blazing Vortex already, and again, it's fine. It's nothing ridiculous. Some of the Phantom Knight cards in here as well. But I'm very curious to know down in the comments what cards you are most looking forward to out of the set, because there's a lot of really neat cards in here. Even just at like the common rarity, there's just a few cards that are very, very decent. There's one of the good cards for Virtual World. It is Hime Nyan Nyan. This card was, I believe, a jump promo in Japan, but as you guys know here in the TCG, we don't actually have jump promos anymore, so they had to put this in here in some way, and I'm kind of glad they incorporated it just in the base set with the initial starting support for the archetype, because I feel like that makes the most sense. But we're already about a quarter of the way through. No super big hits yet. We will have to see. But Ooh, that one actually slid out of my hand. There's another good Virtual World card. It is Roshi Lao Lao. Again, these cards are just super underrated, you guys. I'm telling you. I think this archetype does have a lot of potential. Our format is a lot different than the OCG, but the thing is, even in the TCG, this archetype has been seeing a moderate amount of success previous to the set actually releasing in some preliminary tournaments. So who knows? This could be the next combo deck. You know, any deck that can make True King of all calamities can't be too bad, right? All right, moving on along. There's our first secret rare. Can't be too mad about this one. Virtual World QB Shen Shen. This is the Synchro 9 floating macrocosmos that also can recur itself in addition. The artwork on this card is just so cool too, but the fact that this recurs itself too is just crazy. I mean, again, it's not like the best boss monster ever, but you really can't complain too much when that's what your boss monster does, and you have additional setup even beyond that. That seems pretty nice. So one secret rare down. We will have to see what our second one is, so I imagine that will be coming a little bit later on. There's another super rare Virtual World Dragon Long Long. Again, the artwork on the virtual cards is kind of cute. I remember when we first saw this archetype, I thought it was going to be like the next iteration of Salamangreat, because they did seem like they were like Cybers type just based off the artwork, but then they end up being like Psychic and Worm type, which is really weird, especially too because they're like wind and earth on top of it. Very weird combination, but you know, that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you. So moving on along though, ooh, our first Tri-Brigade super rare, Tri-Brigade Karis. The Tri-Brigade cards are really cool. Again, I think they're like a bit too fair in the grand scheme of things, but they synergize pretty well with Zodiac. It's an okay pull. Let's see if we got anything else here. We also got this random card here, a Geonator Transverser. This card I talked about briefly not too long ago. I think when Phantom Rage was first getting announced for the OCG, and that card's just kind of cool. Like, is it the best card ever? No, but it's just a generically good Link 2 that could have some potential play, just depending on how the way things do shape up. So I'm glad Konami's incorporating more cards like that. There's our second ultra rare, Raiders Knight. I mean, talk about badass artwork, you guys. Look at this card. That is just so awesome. I really, really love it. This card's also not too bad either. Obviously, it's for a very particular strategy, but I think the card's really cool. It's pretty solid and not really too mad about that one. I don't think there's really any particular ultra rare I'm looking for out of this set, but we're halfway through the box now. I believe we are 2 ultras and 1 secret rare in. So still hoping for that Starlight. We will have to see. And let's see where we go. Oh, okay, so our super rare is another copy of Long Long. We're just going to skip right past that. Pretty sure I got playsets of the Play Manager and the Virtual World Searcher now, so I'm pretty happy about that. Got some of the foil stuck in my fingers there. Okay, moving on along. Ooh, another dual avatar card, Kokoku. Again, not too happy about the archetype itself, but the artwork is just pretty... I love how simplistic it is. It's just very... traditionally Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I think some older fans might understand where I'm coming from, but it's just there's something about it not being like too ridiculous, but it still reminds you of Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, next pack here. Another dual avatar. We got the other one. I still can't believe they actually named this dual avatar Feet. Probably could have picked a better name, but that's probably just also due to the translation from Japan, but a lot of the dual avatar cards, but I think a lot of them are pretty low rarity aside from, I believe, the Ultra that we pulled and one of the other secret rares. Let's hope that we don't pull that one. Okay, moving on along here. Here's the new Gizmek, actually, the Ferocious Fanged Fortress. Definitely a conversion on the name there. This card's, like, okay. It actually has some, like, very, very niche applications. Like, it's kind of, like, as niche as Gizmek Uka, but could potentially maybe see, like, a very small amount of play, but it's very, very conditional. I've seen, like... 2 decks maybe try to do stuff with it, but, I mean, the Gizmek cards are kind of always like that anyway, right? All right, moving on along here. There's another ultra rare, one of the mutant ultra rares, Mutant M05. This is the one that you can normal or special summon to add a mutant monster from your deck to your hand. The other one of these that looks like this adds mutant spell or traps. And again, the starter cards for mutants aren't too bad. Like, if you look at like the potential that this archetype could have, it's there, but I keep making the Cosmo comparison because it's like the small ones tag out into the big ones, and the big ones are supposed to kind of do things, but you have to also like commit even more resources. Libero Spiker for ultra athletes is also a really cool card. Moving on, though, there's another super rare Virtual World Gate Chuche. Again, I probably butchered the name. I'm happy they made this super rare because this card is actually really, really good. You're able to shuffle your resources back into your deck and then pop cards on your opponent's field. And then also, I believe you can banish it to up the levels of your monsters by 3 or maybe 1 monster. That way you can just get into your, your synchro plays, your rank 6 or 9 plays, depending on what you're trying to do. Makes getting into your... makes getting into the, what's it called? The True King of All Calamities, there we go, a little bit easier. All right, so we have Perfect Sync Aun. Again, pretty cool artwork on these cards. I love it, but just not really loving the archetype too much. I think we only have about, let's see, I think we have 6 packs or so left to go. Probably going to speed this on along here so we can just get this finished up. And there's our other secret rare, ladies and gentlemen, Phantom Knight of Torn Scale. Not the secret rare we wanted. I would have loved to get a Zeus. I would have loved to get a Alpha, but this card's still pretty cool. Phantom Knight players are going to love to play with this. This card is so good. It's such a nice extender to have, and really, really cool. Really nice piece of Phantom Knight support. All right, so moving on along, that should be it for the secret rares, unless we have some sort of like weird error factory box. I think we still have one more ultra rare coming. We will have to see, though. Conductor of Nephthys. Not really too hot on the Nephthys support, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I like the original Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, but I really hate how they're still trying to make Nephthys an archetype. I feel like they just really have to give that up, but that's just my opinion. All right, moving on along, there is Mutant Mist. This is one of your Cosmos ships, if you want to call it that. The card's fine. Again, it's just really, the archetype is really lacking support, so we'll have to see if it does get there one day. Only about 3 packs left or so here. See what we can get, and it is a Virtual World City Kowloon, so this is the field spell for the archetype, and the field spell is pretty good. It's able to generate you advantage, which is nice. You can get the Virtual World Gates, which I believe the trap card is, so that's pretty cool. It's a nice card overall. It's not like the greatest field spell in the game, but it's pretty good, and you want to play multiples of it. There is our other ultra rare, Dogmatica Ashian. This card is, wow, that foiling is actually really, really cool on this card. The card itself is like okay. I don't really think Dogmatica decks are really going to play this because the strategy itself is kind of fine without it, but I mean, if anything, it's okay. So that's going to be it there. And this is our last pack, ladies and gentlemen. We hit the ratios for everything, so I'm not expecting anything crazy. Although if we did get something, it would be even better because it's right at the end of the video. And it is just a Raid Raptors Phantom Knight's Claw, the counter trap card. So, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our box of Phantom Rage. Overall, we did fine. It wasn't like anything ridiculous. But again, this is why I tell you guys to buy the singles, right? I mean, when you're paying for a booster box and you're not getting your full value back in terms of cards, yeah, you could have hit the lottery, absolutely, but I personally just like to actually get the cards that I want to get rather than gambling and hoping that I get them this way. But thank you guys so much for sticking around for the opening. If you guys are going to buy any Phantom Rage singles or sealed product or any of your Yu-Gi-Oh product, be sure to use my TCG Player affiliate link down in the description. Again, it doesn't cost you anything and it helps directly support the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and we'll see you next time.